Happy Friday, America. Thanks again for joining us right here on the Discussion Combustion. Happy Friday, America YouTube channel. Hope you're ready to have some fun with us. We're getting ready to kick off the weekend right like we do every single Friday. Be sure to mash that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. My name is Kevin Batstone. Be emceeing this episode. Looking forward to it. And of course, you just got done listening to the Fricashinas. Maybe you're like, man, I don't know what to get somebody for Christmas. You could buy them a Fricashinas vinyl. Check them out. Fantastic music. As always, let's get a rippin' tater chippin'. Couldn't do it without my wonderful co-host, Art, the Maverick Rawe.
So happy to be here on this happy Friday. What's up, America? What's up, world? And what's up, Beard? That thing is looking really nice, Kev.
Oh, thanks, man.
Absolutely nice.
Yeah, I'm glad that Movember has come to an end, and the beard, I was able to grow it in a little bit.
It's looking robust.
We'll see if I'm going to go full send beard into January. I don't know yet.
I don't know. I remember back in the Ridge Runner days, you had this big robust beard. I thought it looked great. It's great to be here. I'm so happy. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Today in history, Art.
Today in history, what we got. 1791, so we're going far back to the U.S. Bill of Rights and when it was ratified. 1791, and that is when Virginia approved, and that had the amendments for 1 through 10 of the U.S. Constitution. So obviously a huge thing. I mean, it's kind of crazy. 1776, all this stuff, and then 1791, several years later. Man, that's wild.
That is pretty wild, of course, on this day in December 15th, of course. Moving on into 1961, obviously, civil rights leader MLK Jr. joins over 500 civil rights demonstrators in jail and arrested for protesting in Albany, Georgia, of all places. You know, we kind of know how the South feels about a lot of things, especially back then, so MLK definitely going out and taking a risk.
Yep, and let's continue to see progression, hopefully, in all that, so let's keep inclusion and respect in our minds. Forever and always. 1969, San Francisco Fire Department replaces the leather helmets with plastic ones. I mean, these guys must have been some wild renegades running in buildings with leather helmets before then.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, football used to play in leather helmets.
That's true.
Way back then.
They were doing the same.
Yeah, like the leather heads or whatever they called them back when they were doing football. But yeah, that's pretty wild, man.
No, that's wild. I wonder what kind of plastic and how the heat rating on that, you know? Because, like, don't they use metal ones? I don't know what they use nowadays. I really don't know. Do you know what they use?
It's come a long way. I got a good
like
firefighter buddy.
Thing,
I'll ask him. I'm going to send him a text. Say, hey, man, what's that thing made of?
Yeah. Curious. You know that it heats up whenever there's a fire and also in the core of a nuclear explosion. I had to throw one of these in here. 1971, on December 15th, the USSR performs a nuclear test in Kazakh and Semipalitinsk. How would you say that?
I'm not too sure, but
I figured I'd give it an attempt.
Yeah.
Hit us with that S one, Kev. What is that?
Semipalitinsk.
Okay, so you went the fast read technique. That's always a good technique.
Yeah, it's probably we're both wrong. There's no question about that. But one thing that is you always have the nuclear testing in Today in History.
It's fun. I mean, it's bombs. It's big explosions. The weekend's about to pop off. And then I got one more here that I had to include. 1973, American Psychiatric Association declares homosexuality is not a mental illness. So obviously with MLK and then people's rights in many areas, you know, just want to kind of highlight a couple of those. Today's history on December 15th.
A lot happens, man. A lot happens, especially this time of year. You know, it's end of year. They're trying to make quotas and budgets and all that kind of stuff. So people get very productive, I feel like, this time of year before they get ready to go on their little holiday vacation, if you will. So that's great. Today in History, always a segment you can expect right here on Happy Friday. So this one is kind of wild. No, it's not April Fool's Day, okay? This is interesting. When I saw this, I'm like, this has to make the script. So scientists basically created VR goggles for mice. That's right, mice. So that they can feel what it's like to be attacked by a bird. So essentially, you know, look, VR has become a big thing, Art. We do it with video games. People love it. It's incredible. It can, it helps in racing and even sports scenarios where these guys can simulate real life situations. Now they're testing it on a mouse. Essentially. That's a pretty small device when you think about it. I don't know if you had a chance to click on that link, and for all the viewers, just go down and take a look at this thing. There's a couple pictures in the link below. And so what they're doing is they're kind of recreating and putting these mice through some scenarios that they might not normally run into in the wild, or just using it for testing. But what they determined is they simulated a bird flying after it, right? And the mouse felt it. He felt the presence, and he started running faster. The results started to change on how the mouse behaved to virtual reality. And I just think that's kind of interesting that we're starting to test this type of technology on mice.
I just would like to have been in the boardroom with the people who were all sitting around, and they're like, all right, we need to, the University of Illinois, from Northwestern University of Illinois, this boardroom over there somewhere, they're all sitting around, and they're like, you know what? I don't think our mice are behaving naturally in our artificial lab environment. I don't think they're behaving naturally. What can we do to get the mice to behave more naturally? And then they come up with this whole thing to put on VR goggles on these things. And so that's really because my question, what's the purpose? Like,
Right.
What are they trying to achieve with this?
Well, they've always tested, like mice have always been kind of lab rats, they've always called them, or test subjects of certain things. They give them drugs or see how they respond to things. So I feel like this is just an extension of testing things and seeing how the animal is going to respond to certain things, because I'm sure that same logic can maybe be applied to humans, right? We're a little bit more familiarized with VR and understanding, consciously what we're getting into when we put on a VR device. Yeah. So if you have someone, attacking you or something like that, it probably doesn't feel as realistic as maybe it does to the mouse. So there's probably still a lot of things to learn here.
No, definitely. And actually, that's exactly what it was highlighted to do, was they wanted to achieve a greater understanding of their behavior. And by doing this VR goggles on a mouse, it actually did, like you said, run faster and behaved slightly different, believing that it was actually being attacked by a bird of prey. So pretty interesting.
It is.
Never would I have thought that the dubbed miniature rodent stereo illumination VR, the MRSIV, would ever have been concepted into reality. Interesting read. That was a good one, man.
One of my favorite parts about this article was the acronym that they came up with this, which you just obviously read what that is, the dubbed miniature rodent stereo illumination VR. Like, if you had heard that term, you'd be like, what in the hell is that? And so I still don't know. We know what it is, but we've provided a little bit of context on at least what some of their first test subjects were.
Oh, my gosh, man. So all I know is when you want to run away from something, you really want to be in some good sneakers or some good shoes, man. And everybody knows that Air Jordans are sought after.
Killers. Aren't you wearing some Jordans right now?
Yeah. Hit us on 4, man. I'm wearing some right now, so it was only right that we threw this in here, man. So a pair of Air Jordans worth over $10,000 were found in a shelter donation bin. So this was in one in Oregon. Apparently these were at like the bottom of some bin. Somebody was just like organizing through. They weren't in a box or anything at the time, right?
Just thrown in as a donation.
Yeah, they were just like they randomly ended up there. And so once they were found, they were actually Air Jordan 3s commissioned by Spike Lee, and they're valued at more than $10,000. This guy went in there to verify, make sure that the shoes were legit. They were legit. He confirmed the pair was the Jordan 3s commissioned for the Academy Awards in 2019. So these things were made to go to the Academy Awards, these shoes were.
Wow.
And so they provided the shelter with a replacement box and a framed sign design proof. So that way, like, these are legit, authentic shoes. So they're going to go to auction. It's going to go on auction December 18th. So you still got time to jump on this. Definitely click on the link below to get to that right area. And they're expected to go up to like at least $20,000 in auction here.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just have to throw this in here. I feel like somebody was in a relationship and was upset and was like, screw this person, grabbed their unique J's and just threw them at the donation center. That's how I feel like they got there.
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Or maybe someone that had a lot of money, was just like, I'm going to throw these in there and go buy me a new pair or something like that. Or maybe they just didn't understand what the value was, at the same time. But what's cool about, Jordans and, the Air series, did you ever see the movie Air? If not, it's a fantastic watch. I mean, just tremendous.
I believe I have.
To really understand the story of how Michael Jordan became, not only an epic basketball player, but was able to gain royalties to this brand with Nike and still continues to collect royalties on it. Unreal what that shoe company's done. And I think what's crazy to me is just how expensive shoes can be at times. Right?
Yeah.
It's a piece of footwear. I mean, just like anything, jewelry. I mean, people pay a lot of money for fashion and stuff like that. But there's like a channel that's going around. I don't know if you've seen it, where guys will find like old shoes that are dirty. You see it with rugs too, and they basically restore them and bring them back. And it's kind of a fun like ASMR kind
Those
of
are
thing.
satisfying to watch.
That's
too.
what I'm saying.
Like
it's
the scrubbing and stuff.
Yep, and they clean these things up, man, and they look brand new after. So I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. But to be digging through a donation bin and see something like that, and now they're going to go to auction,
yeah,
pretty amazing.
No, it is crazy. So one thing that I learned recently is that if you buy shoes and kind of hoard shoes and then you don't wear them for years, then like the soles actually get messed up and crumble. So it's actually good to like, if you got a pair of shoes that you're trying to save for a long time, keep them fresh. You still got to put them on every once in a while and just wear them around the house or something.
Yeah, get some reps in.
Yeah, get the rubber moving and keep it solidified, or else it just crumbles apparently.
No different than a car, really, when you think about it. I mean, a lot of these classic cars that people keep in the garage and stuff want to preserve them for years and years and years. The motor actually tends to run better if it's getting fired up. If a motor sits, you typically are going to have problems, and you're going to have to troubleshoot. The liquids have solidified. A lot of the spark plugs and wires do deteriorate over time. So just like you're saying with the shoes, with a car motor, the more you run it, the longevity you get out of it.
Let's do it in threes here, because everyone loves threes. So the human body, if you just sit idle all the time, don't do anything with your body, move it or lose it, baby. Move it or lose it on Friday.
This is true, because a body in motion stays in motion, and a body at rest will stay at rest. I'll tell you who's not staying at rest. This man is out here getting it. A 17-year-old law clerk became the youngest to pass the California bar exam.
Wow.
So first of all, passing the bar exam in any state at any time is a very difficult thing to do. It's one of the most prestigious, difficult, outside of like medicine, it's one of the most difficult tests you can possibly get through. And this kid's a genius from what I've seen. His name's Peter Park. He attended high school when he was 13, top of his class, and was able to pass the bar exam at 17 years old, which is just unreal.
That's wild.
Because there's so much that goes into that and understanding the bar and everything that goes into law. So, I don't know.
I wonder what like the average amount of time is for somebody to study and then pass.
Well, you figure a lot of guys go to law school, right? And
like after high school. So they're like maybe 22, maybe 24,
probably,
getting the bar exam done.
Yep.
And then this dude's he's like way ahead of the ball there.
Yeah, I mean, he's now the youngest practicing attorney of all in California history. I didn't really deep dive into history.
Not even 18 years old. That's kind of interesting.
To practice law.
And so you're not even a legal adult, and you can practice law?
Yeah,
How the heck does that work?
He is now 18 since.
Okay, so he is now. Okay, that's good to know. So so that all makes sense.
He has turned 18 now.
All right.
And is able to practice law. But is there?
Okay, I was wondering.
I don't know if there is the bar guy that knows the law would know the law. Is there a law that you have to be 18 to practice law?
Probably, but not study and pass the test for law, you apparently.
Still, I mean, if you know the information and you go in and take that test and you nail it like this kid did, he's ready to rip tater chip, and he's now practicing law at 18 years old. So representing people as an attorney, unreal. I thought that was worthy of a nod.
What's this young lad's name? Do we have his name?
Peter Park.
Peter Park, please continue to practice inclusion and respect with your work.
Yeah, solid lad. Solid lad. So, congrats, Peter Park. I thought that was worthy of a nod.
Yes.
I didn't really see a lot of other news outlets covering that, and I just thought it was a really cool story.
I think that is a cool one, man. Great ad to the app. So, for this Would You Rather, we actually have a question. It's going to be I have a custom written part here, too, that you're unaware about, Kev. So, with this one, before I jump into this question, we covered last week.
Yes.
Okay. So we got to recap.
We got the results. The Would You Rather, of course, weekly segment here on Happy Friday. Feel free to leave a comment down below or go over to our Twitter X profile at Happy Fry USA. The polls go up every Friday morning.
So much fun. Thank you, everyone, for participating.
Yes. So last week basically was a Would You Rather, and the stipulation was you have to eat at the specific establishment for the rest of your life. So with that being the stipulation, would you rather eat at Wendy's or BK for the rest of your life? The results are in, Art. We have 63% went Wendy's.
Okay.
38% went BK.
And we both went Wendy's as well, didn't we?
Yep.
Interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah. So that was kind of the split on that. We kind of figured it was going to go 60-40, which is basically where it lied. But yes, thanks for everyone that continues to participate in that. What do we got this week, Art?
Yeah, this week. So, if you could have your dream home anywhere in the world, but once you moved in there, you had to stay there. You could no longer travel. First of all, would you move in? And let's say that you do move in. Let's say you have to move in within 1 year. Like, where are you going? So it's kind of like a couple pieces there.
Well, so the would you rather piece is would you do that?
Yeah.
And then the second piece is where would you go?
Yeah, if like your top 2 spots, like bucket list items. So for the would you rather for X, we could do if you could have your dream home anywhere in the world, but you couldn't travel once moving in, would you move in? Yes or no? And that could be the would you rather.
So my answer then is no. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Dude, it's like the land that you want, the perfect house.
Yeah, because then you can't travel.
Yeah.
And you're stuck there, which I'm sure you could come up with a bitching spot on 20, 30, 40, 50 acres.
Yeah,
and
you're like having a whole
need.
island or something.
An oasis. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could deep dive into some of those what if scenarios, but I want to be able to go travel and go see another area or go visit somebody. Because like if that's the stipulation, I'm not doing it. I'm taking no go. I'll keep being a vagabond.
So being the vagabond. So where are the top 2 places on your bucket list that you would have to travel to then?
That's a good question. I mean, I haven't done a ton of international travel. I've been south of the border. I'd like to really get over to Europe and some of those areas. The United Arab Emirates has elevated on my list of a place I'd like to visit, like Dubai. I'd like to get to Japan. But to single it out to 2 places, that'd be tough. If I had to pick, it'd probably be New Zealand.
Okay.
And Europe. I'll just say Europe because it's hard for me to nail down where.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I was also going to say New Zealand. I'm also foregoing the dream home anywhere that I would choose because, you want to travel. You want to experience life. You want to get out there and do it. So that's where I'm going with. I do also want to go to New Zealand. And I think Tokyo would be really fun. Maybe somewhere in the Philippines. I could list off at least a whole list of 20 easily. But
and I think for this would you rather for some people would work because I know a lot of folks, especially where I grew up, they stay pretty close to home. And they don't like to travel as much.
Yeah.
So if they had that one area, I think a lot of people would choose to do that.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see how the split goes on this one.
Yeah, let us know. Are you doing traveling or do you want just an epic location where you stay at forever? I mean, you can still go to the grocery store and stuff like that. You're talking about you just can't hop on a plane and go.
Yeah, you're
all
staying
these
in your
places.
county, in your district.
You're staying local.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people where I'm from like to do that. So.
Yeah, you're not going into other states. You're staying in your town, your district, whatever.
Let us know what you think. I'm a traveler. I like to keep it moving, and that's about what we're going to do right now. Keep it moving from the Would You Rather over to Kev's Random Records is always one of my favorite segments to find each week.
This was a good one.
This is pretty cool. So before we get into it, so David Rush is the name of the guy that broke this record.
Okay.
He's been featured on Happy Friday America.
Yeah, I was about to say this guy's name.
Yep, and Happy Friday Denver even numerous times because this guy just constantly chases records. He's an Idaho man, and we've had some really cool records that he's done. This one I found interesting because I've never been really good at paper planes.
Yeah.
I know how to make them, but they don't fly. They just nosedive or they bank off to the side.
There's definitely a technique to this.
There's a technique.
Yeah.
So the previous record for basically this is what it looks like. He had to fold it and throw a paper airplane as quick as he could.
Okay.
So take the piece of paper, make it, throw it to flight. Previous record was 7 seconds. He shattered it at 6.15 seconds, folding his plane and getting it into flight. I haven't even attempted it. We might do that for fun after with the script. We'll turn our script into some paper airplanes.
We'll have 3 chances each
To see, and we'll time it. Because I'm
There's
curious
no
now.
way. There's no way.
I bet
this dude was dude, did you see how intentionally he did that first fold?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's almost like he was moving
scripted.
fast but took his time. Like he was practicing this and like
he scripted it.
Anyone who changes their last name to Rush and then goes out and gets featured on Happy Friday both Denver and America multiple times because he's such a record-breaking maniac. I don't know if I'm coming close to that. I'm probably over 10 seconds is what my guess is.
I think if we can get
I'm over 10 seconds.
If we can get 10 or under, that would be, I think, a huge success. Because it did have to travel a certain distance for it to count. It doesn't quite say what that distance was.
It at least went over 3 feet in the video.
Yeah,
it probably went
it,
like 6 feet. It probably went like 6 or 7, honestly.
Yep. Because I mean,
meters,
you could, I think it's all in the fold and how you get it ready to go. Because I mean, the classic paper airplane, right? You would just kind of fold it in, bend it back, and then get like that kind of shape,
and
get it ready to fly.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it in a rush in 6.1 seconds, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen fast, as we learned about on Master Gas podcast. We can fuel a race car and change 4 tires in under 10 seconds.
That's fast.
That's fast. But you have 6 men over the wall working on it.
A rabbit can very fast.
A rabbit could what?
Very fast.
He could do coitus?
Coitus, yes.
He can perform coitus very fast.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe, I don't know that word, but.
That's a scientific word for sex.
That was exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah. So, well, their old saying, doing coitus like a rabbit.
Yes. Under 10 seconds, baby.
Pretty impressive stuff, though, man. Pretty cool record. David Rush continues
cool.
to be in the conversation of Guinness Book of World Records. He holds over 250 of them, guys.
David, we'll see you again, and in your efforts, please be inclusive of all records that you want to break.
Yes. He's probably going to get the Kez Random Record of the Year award.
Wow, there's one of those?
There is.
Okay.
There is.
Okay. Well, I mean, the year's coming to a close, man.
That's
it's coming
true.
to a close here. What else is coming to a close? Well, a building in Nova Scotia was about to get demolished. It was a church. It was an apartment building. It was renovated. It was a landmark out in Nova Scotia. I've honestly always wanted to go to that area of Canada too. Like it's like these islands out there above New England and stuff. So
Yeah, just northeast of New England.
yeah,
Yep.
just northeast there. So I really want to see Nova Scotia so bad. That's a side note though. So one of these buildings out there, in order to save this building, they had to get it put onto a new foundation.
Yep.
And so what they did, this construction crew, is they planned on moving it 30 feet onto this new foundation. And to move this thing 30 feet, they used 2 excavators, a tow truck, a lot of support beams, and the big banger here is they actually used 700 bars of soap
It's actually kind of a good idea.
to move this thing.
I think when I first saw it, I'm like, why the hell would you do that? But then you think about it. You get a little moisture involved, and it can slide on. They can slide it to where they need it to go.
So
it almost acts as like wheels.
It does, and they use a specific brand. They used ivory soap because it's particularly soft. Okay, so they went with
Like the Irish Spring.
Yeah, they I don't know, is that ivory soap? I don't know if Irish Spring is ivory soap.
I haven't used bar soap in the shower in a long time.
But that's all I use.
Really, I use the other shit like the Cremo.
Oh, you use like the lather,
Yeah,
like the body wash.
body wash, but
Yeah.
not the cheap shit like the
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't use bar soap.
I only use bar soap.
What do you use?
I like Dove stuff, honestly.
Dove stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use Dove's. Shout out to Dove. Well, shout out to Susie Shirley
Yeah.
for doing my hair. She used a little bit something different, but I usually use Dove for men hair product. But yeah, I hear they do great men's hygiene products.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. But with these soap blocks, like they look like bricks because you
Yep.
could buy a hand soap and it's like pre-curved. So these were flat soap bricks. But yeah, they used 700 of these things to move it, and I mean that's being ingenuitive for sure. To get it done, they moved it 30 feet, 2 different sessions, so 15 feet each time. It was moved successfully. Way to go, Nova Scotian. What kind of team would do that? What kind of team is that? Building relocation squad?
Yeah, that's the the official building relocation team. Pretty cool. Pretty just
That
thinking
is
outside
cool.
of the box. How are we going to move this
Yeah.
thing? Soap makes sense. Now that I think about it, it's gonna slide. Like I almost think it's probably better than using wheels because those could break.
Yeah,
and
the
get
bearing could
wobbly.
mess up. Yeah.
Not that the soap couldn't break itself and get cut in half or something, but 700 of those suckers with a little grease, a little
Yeah.
moisture, like it's gonna slide. I think that's brilliant. I dig
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, that was good. Cool
Yeah.
video too.
Yeah, and again, scroll down, click these links so you can see it for yourself. This one was pretty cool art. Obviously, it's the Christmas time, and people are doing fun festivities.
Happy holidays,
and they're doing
everyone.
Bar crawls and all this cool stuff. Everyone's dressing up like Santa. So this has become kind of a tradition in New York City, and a lot of other cities are doing this as well. And so this past weekend, they did what they call the annual SantaCon bar crawl.
SantaCon bar crawl.
Everyone dresses up in Christmas attire. You don't have to necessarily be a Santa. Starts at 10 in the morning in some of the clubs in Midtown Manhattan, which Manhattan is absolute chaos if you've never been there. I mean, it's always popping. And it went on until 8 p.m. And so the idea of this was not just to dress up and get wasted the whole time. They were actually kind of raising some money and doing something cool because, the participants had to donate $15 to enter some of these venues, and it all went to charitable causes.
Nice.
And they got to have fun doing it. And a lot of people turned out. And it's becoming pretty popular across the country in a lot of these other cities. I think Denver's even getting ready to do one this weekend.
It is a good time when you do stuff like this, especially because everybody else is doing the same thing where you're at. So everyone's kind of on the same team here, all getting loose, having fun, being goofy, wearing fun outfits, just enjoying the day. So I can definitely subscribe and support this type of stuff. If you're going ham, I will grab some advice from one of my good friends by the name of Schween. and he always has a little bit of water with his alcohol, and I definitely highly recommend staying hydrated out there if you're going hard all day on it.
It's great piece of advice. Shween always yells at me as well. Shween is a kind of behind-the-scenes friend here in the DCPC HFA world, and he's always yelling at me, drink water, Kev, drink water, especially after my Texas incident. But, it's fun to dress up this time of year, doing something cool with it like that, and also having fun with your buddies gives you an excuse to do some bar hopping and also help out a little bit. So
I like that.
Yeah, it's fun to put on a Santa hat and a sweater and get into the spirit a little bit. For our DCPC followers and listeners, we're going to be doing our Christmas special. The next episode that you see drops on this channel, and we're going to have a little Christmas theme going ourselves, Art. So looking forward to doing that.
Yes, we're going to keep it awful jolly. Very much so.
Yes, it's going to be a holly jolly time of the year here for DCPC and HFA, but we're not quite to Christmas yet. Still got this weekend coming up, and there's a lot of fun things going on around the country, Art.
Yeah, what we got going on? Bone Thugs and Harmony. Of course, man, they are awesome. Playing out in Los Angeles tomorrow, the 16th, and also Sunday, the 17th. So both days this weekend, you can go check out Bone Thugs. I bet you that's going to be a dope show.
Oh, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of joints being lit up in that audience, having some fun. And if you want to do some laughing in Las Vegas, Vegas is always a good time if you're out there having some fun. You might be a redneck if the classic Jeff Foxworthy. No one pulls off a mustache better than that man. He is playing Las Vegas all weekend long. So if you're out there having some fun and you want to laugh, highly recommend Jeff Foxworthy, man. He's been in the game a long time.
Yep, and out in St. Louis, Missouri, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra is playing The Ghost of Christmas Eve. Look, my work manager went to this thing just the other night, and he was describing the show to me today, and he was saying how awesome it was.
Have you ever seen Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
No, but I grew up listening to it.
They're incredible.
I've never seen it, so honestly, that is a show that could make it onto my bucket list. I think that would be so fun. St. Louis, Missouri on Sunday.
Yep, St. Louis, and they're, of course, traveling around, but that's going on this weekend. I'd love to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I mean,
oh, gosh.
Any orchestra is amazing to me.
I'm going to have to play it on my way home.
Oh, it's good. That's like one of the few Christmas songs I actually do like is their rendition of a couple of the Christmas
It's just intense.
themes.
I mean,
it is intense.
Dwight Schrute knows.
Dwight Schrute does know a lot of things about a lot of things, including beats. So being in the season of giving, of course, they have the Gift of Giving Festival going on down in Grovetown, Georgia. That's kind of a cool event to get people together. It's not really like a Secret Santa. It's really just about kind of getting the community together, making meals, swapping gifts, and just a fun community event down there in Grovetown, Georgia.
Yeah, always give back where you can. Look, if you got extra clothes, anything like that going on, especially warmer ones during these colder months, go take them down to a donation center. It could really make a big difference. If you're in Belton, Texas, tomorrow they have the Southern Soul Music Fest. That is going to be a slamming, and hopefully you got some sizzling, succulent supper out there. Delicious things, things like that, man. We're so excited. Really, to kind of come in, anything. This is not our last Happy Friday before the end of the year.
No, we still have DCPC Christmas special coming up next week.
Yes.
And then our Happy Friday Christmas edition the day after. So next week will be very Christmas themed here on the channel. And then the week after that, we'll be doing our New Year's stuff.
Okay, excellent. Stay so busy I lose track of time and forget what part of the month it is. So on that bombshell, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't. Share it with your friends and family. We like to have fun here. Check us out on all the Instas and Facebooks and X's, it's Happy Friday USA, Insta and Facebook. And then for X and Twitter, that's going to be Happy Fry USA. Hit us up on Gmail at Happy Friday America at Gmail. Frickin' let's rock out, baby. Let's go the weekend.